Happy New Year, you guys. Cheers. Clink. I'll cheers myself. Let's get ready together. I think I'm in the mood for like a golden New Year. So we're gonna start with this Prada cream. Look how epic this is. Okay, ma'am, what is this? And the texture is interesting. It's like this sort of thick, balmy something. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of this because I wanna hydrate my skin so that it doesn't keep producing so much oil. Ah, feels good. Let's get some base on. I do have a new kind of epic and exciting base that I want to share with you because this is brand spanking new. I've used it twice. This is the Dolce Gabbana Hydra Glow and Fresh Skin Tint, the Blueberry Nutritint. I guess it has two names, but I am really enjoying this because look how thin it is. You see how it rolls off the skin like that? Whenever I see a formula that rolls, like the Kojan Dough, what else is super thin? Iconic, the Iconic blurring one, and then this one, obviously, that I just got. I always know that I'm gonna like it because I know that it's gonna have a nice and thin and natural texture. It really could look like nothing if you don't build it up, but if you don't hydrate the skin and you put a good layer, it looks a little bit more foundation-y. I wore it the other night after not really hydrating that well, and I put more than usual, and it looks like makeup, but if you do just a thin layer, it's much more sheer, so it's kind of customizable, but you know, most things are, you know, if you layer anything on a million times, it'll look different than a super thin layer. I think I'm gonna go for a thinner layer today, but that is really thin. Let's do concealer and then I'll decide if I wanna go further with that. And I'm gonna use my Sigma concealer that's almost empty. I'm gonna scrape it out and apply with the back of my brush and then blend out with the sponge. This is on its last legs, honestly. But I can build coverage with this, so I may or may not need more of that foundation. There was a Dolce & Gabbana pop-up in LA at the Grove, and I went in because I love Dolce & Gabbana. I love their vintage bags. I just bought one today because it's New Year's, and I'm like, you know what, I should treat myself. I love their vintage bags. I bought also a pair of, they were $30, a pair of silver like Y2K slingbacks on eBay. You guys, eBay is so untapped. You have to shop eBay for your designer vintage goods. Oh my gosh, I'll show you the bag. This is the bag, and these are the shoes that I got. So cute. Anyway, there's a pop-up at the Grove, Dolce & Gabbana Beauty, and I went, and the sales associate was following me around the store. I would pick up an eyeliner, and she'd say, "That's our eyeliner." So I was like, you know what, girl, I'm gonna buy something, okay? I pick up the foundation. It's in the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen, but then I pump it on my hand. It's so thick. It's so matte. It's so full coverage. And she's like, "That's our full coverage foundation." I'm like, "Skin tints, have you got a skin tint?" She showed me this one. It's much less beautiful packaging than the other, but it's sleek and I like it, and I'll actually wear it. I'm gonna go in with the brush and really target this eye circle. I find that like whenever I put foundation on camera, I feel like I don't like the rest of the video, because it knocks out like the sort of interesting colors to look at on camera. And even though in real life I want to hide those shades, I feel like sometimes on camera it looks better without foundation. Sometimes even in real life it looks better without foundation. Let's contour. These are like favorites of the year, so we're gonna do the Milk. I think the tone of this is like my best contour shade, and you can use a lot without starting to look ugly, and that's uncommon for me. I like to blend out with the flat side of the sponge so that everything stays nice and even. And something about contour, sometimes if you over blend it, like say it's blended and then you keep going over it, then at that point you're just picking up the product and stamping it over again. Once it's blended, just don't touch it. And now we'll just blend the sides of the nose. These glasses, thrifted. But now we're gonna go in with this Valentino blush. This blush is beautiful. They sent this to me with some of their perfumes they have just been hitting lately. This blush is kind of like a, whoa, I put too much on wet skin. Oh my God. This blush is kind of like a bronzing sort of situation. Sometimes when your skin is real wet like this will happen. So Emily, do better. And I'm hitting under the eye. This is like a sunburny color, and this is in the shade 4. This is a eye and cheek, so use it on your eyes, use it on your cheeks, whatever you like if you want to. And then I'm not gonna go so hard with the powder today, so that's why I'm going on with my powder blush right away, because I want to set that face down without putting a ton of powder. I'm also going to do the same with powder bronzer, so let's go in with that. I have this depotted Colourpop bronzer. I don't know what shade it is, but make my best guess when linking. And then we'll just shade the perimeters of the face. I'm using a Gerard Cosmetics brush. This is an F3. I got it in a set, and the set is very lovely. And we're just gonna hit around here too. And shape the face a little bit. Oh, this is something that I'm excited about. I hated this stupid thing because I brought the nude shade in this lip tint, and I was so offended by it because it is not nude. And then recently I saw somebody use this on TikTok, this black one, and I bought it on Amazon immediately. And it looked better on her, granted, but it's like a cool tone. And I've been staining my lips with this. And listen, it's an interesting shade, maybe not even a flattering shade. I don't leave it on for long because it will get dark. But it's like a cool tone. It's like a grayish nude. It's the first of the year. I'm kind of on a luxury vibe. Let's use our Prada eyeshadow. We're gonna go minimal with this. I want like a light golden look. I'm actually gonna do my gold shade first so that I can get more gold than like bronziness out of it. So I'm just gonna swipe this on. Oh my God, I pushed too hard and like broke it. Wow. But I liked this shade. I was swatching different golds today, and I like this one because it's not too orange. And I can't do a super, I mean I could, but I prefer not to do super warm gold. I'd rather like a champagne-y gold or like a paler gold, white gold-ish. Now we're gonna do a little bit more of that. Well, we've never done it, but we're gonna do a little of it. And more like in the outer V as opposed to like up the crease, because I don't want to go up the crease. I just don't want my crease to be dark. I don't even really want my lid to be dark, but I'm just doing this for the sake of dimension. And let's take a little of that darker brown too, because it's New Year's Day. I have been spending this New Year's alone. My sister and I were gonna get together. She got sick. And I was like, I'm a hypochondriac. And not only that, but like, I'm kind of feeling good in my aloneness right now, which is not common. I need to lean into this. I've been feeling good in my aloneness. I've had enough social activity that I didn't feel like I needed to do anything. Whoa. I left it on too long, you guys. This is a mistake. Okay, that's better. See this? I like this. And I know it's probably like not the most gorgeous thing that you could do, but I like it for some reason. It doesn't come off. Anyway, let's go into the eyeliner. I'm gonna bring you closer. I'm gonna start with the KVD pen, and I'm just gonna line into the lash lines because this gives a nice pop to the eye without it being like linery. So we're just gonna line both lash lines, really, really easy, not thick or anything, all the way in. And now we're gonna go in with our pencil. I'm addicted to this, Jones Road. and I'm just pushing it back and forth. It's such a dry pencil that like you would never have an insane bad experience with this because it's so dry, especially if there's eyeshadow on the lid. Like, good luck getting this on, to be honest. But I'm kind of enjoying that because you will never mess up your eyeliner with this. And you guys know that I like to just smear my makeup on, like not even think about it, just like push it on. And this allows that. You can do a great wing with this. And you know what? It's like so Bobbi Brown because I've been watching her do makeup a long time. I was like her biggest fan when I was in makeup school. I had her books as a child. I don't know how I got those books because no one wore makeup in my family, but I had those books. And she would always be like, just use your fingers. And she'd just always be like, whenever she's working on a model, she's just like smearing makeup on with her fingers. That's my dream, okay? To smear makeup on with the fingers. Now we're just gonna reinstate that line with our Prada compact. So we're gonna take a Sigma E65 small angle brush and we're going to punch that shadow right over this. This brown has such a warm base to it, and you guys know I love a warm brown close to the lash line because it pops the eye color. And like a neutral brown is good for the basics, but if you want to really like pop blue eyes, colored eyes, even brown eyes to be honest, because then that warmth comes out, then use a warm brown. Every eye color can benefit from a warm brown actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's probably the one shade that like everybody looks really good in. Now let's repeat it on the other side. Now I did wing the shadow a bit more with this powder. It's easier to build and wing your shadow out with a powder over your liner sometimes, especially if you're using a pencil that's not that strong. You can do a great base and then you add dimension and texture over top of it. And lately something I've been also liking is to pop a glitter on my liner. Like, see this? What? It's especially fun on a matte eye, but it's New Year's, so let's just do it. It just pops the eye. It gives the liner almost like a wet look. Okay, now let's do our mascara. This is Benefit's Fan Fest, my favorite mascara. And I recently got the They're Real as well because it was sold in a duo for $28, which I felt like it was a good deal because usually one is $28. And the difference between the two of them is this one you get a little more lengthening. It's a little bit thinner of the formula and it's easier to remove, but it's still more difficult to remove than like a regular mascara. This is not waterproof, but it's water resistant, so you get the vibe. I like it, but it's interesting because I never smudged before until I bought this one. I think they may have changed the formula a little bit because I've been a little smudgier. Now we're gonna do the lower lashes as well. And once this dries, we'll pop a lash on. I'm gonna set the face strategically, not too much. Fenty lip mask is so good. My powder puffs are nowhere to be found. That would be the ideal application. This is the original Givenchy formula. I have a very small amount left. And I'm just gonna use a wedge sponge. Honestly, I shouldn't even be using this, but I've kind of reached a point where I've loved and I've lost. I'm ready to move on. I at least know that the hourglass one is really good, so I'm no longer waiting to use it. I'm just gonna use it up. And I'm setting, but I'm not necessarily baking. Because today it's not that serious, to be honest. And now my lashes are dry, so we're gonna pop on an old time favorite. I'm kind of using a lot of new and old favorites in this video. These are an OG and definitely more dramatic than what I've been getting into lately. But when I line the waterline and go bronzy, it's like, okay, let's just say death to natural makeup today. So I'm gonna trim off a couple segments on the end there. You can see this is pretty long. And then I'll pop my glue on. So I like to hold my lash really close to the band and then kind of tilt it down as I'm coming towards my eye with the eye open so that I can see where I'm placing it. And then I'll look down and drag it around, like say like I went too far left, so I'll pull it in. Say it's not close enough to the lash line, I'll push it down. You want to give it enough time that it's not like completely wet and not sticking down, but you don't want to be too slow and then have your glue dry and then you can't move it at all. Okay, let's do this side. Now, once you get a big lash like this on, you can see if you want to shade the crease more or not. Let's do that. This is the Milk Contour Stick again, my fave. I'm obsessed. And we'll just take it right here and connect it here. And this will look more like a natural shadow in the eye versus like brown eyeshadow, which is what I like about using the contour colors in the crease. It's so much more natural. I say that with the biggest lashes on ever, but it really is so much more natural. Now, I'm super distracted by this lip, so let's put on a MAC discontinued shade. I'm so sorry, but they still make the color, they just made it matte. And I think it's probably a little darker. They're so full of shit. And usually I would use something that, you know, isn't out of stock, but this lip liner is so grayish that I have to do a slightly warmer nude. This does still exist. I'm gonna tag the new version of it. It's just not the same. It's matte. It's a completely different texture. They just changed it and didn't address it. I think that MAC should be sued. I think they should be sued. I think I should come up against them in court. I do think it's important to sort of inch your makeup along. So now that I've taken a step back, I feel like we need a little something on my lower lash line. So I'm gonna go again in with this contour shade and I'm just gonna add some smoke. And like that looks dark without it actually being dark. Sometimes you want an effect that looks dramatic without using like black, dark brown. Just use your contour shade. And I'm telling you, after you conceal and everything, it should give a good amount of dimension without being dark and dragging the face so far down. And you can blend this quite far depending on how dramatic you want to go. I sort of want to almost create like a dark circle. That's fun. And then we're gonna put mascara on top of this. Kind of a vibe. I like to add so much mascara to the lower lash line when I have a big thick lash like this because it helps balance the eye. And especially since I have no eyebrows, like we need some balance. And we're also gonna put a little gold Valentino over this lip. The gold hopefully will warm it. Valentino sent this. It's a product I would not buy just based off of like seeing it, but it's a product that I really enjoy. It's so weird. It's just a gold lipstick. It looks like an eye glitter stick. I love it. Now, I have a little hair hack for you that I've been doing because I'm so lazy. If you have one of these wavy top brushes, you can get by with just doing the front of your hair or the ends. Like sometimes I'll just take this and I'll just flip my ends out, but that's not the hack. The hack is you hold it with a roller while it cools down. And honestly, you guys, I don't even know what direction or what I'm looking for here. I just know that when I do this, I heat up the hair and then I roll it up. It looks good. And literally the other day, I did my whole head like this. I had a date. Really nice guy. Lately, I've been dating differently. I've been dating nice people. I've changed, maybe. Somebody on here said, I'm gonna be sad when you find someone because I love hearing the stories. I'm like, okay, thanks. But I've been dating nice people with jobs. Could you believe it? And yeah, you can hold the hair in like this. Ooh, and see that nice flip. Now, it doesn't even matter what it looks like yet because the hair's still hot, so you're still kind of molding it. So now we're just molding it into whatever the heck this roller does. So it gives the hair volume, and it also allows the hair to cool down in this shape, which makes the curl longer lasting. And it's not even really a curl, it's more just like body. So this just frames the face. In my opinion, it makes it look better. Now, you know what's funny is that my Valentino blush went on so strong, but now it's fading as blush does. So while we wait for the hair to settle in, we'll use a little bit more of this and also some Bobbi Brown highlight, I think. That's the only highlight that I want to touch with a 10-foot pole. And I'm going to use this on a smaller brush just to make sure it's very targeted. And we're just going to pop this like high on the apple of the cheek. Earlier, I feel like I kind of applied it wrong and ruined it for you. So let this redeem this blush for you if you thought it looked bad, because this is just a lovely blush. It's different from my usual hot pink, but I'm starting to realize I can't always be in hot pink. Like, I'm overdoing the hot pink. So here we go. Blushes like this is like just like an apricot, like sunburny. It's just so good. It's so good. And imagine this on somebody with a tan. Oh my God. Oh my God. It would be beautiful. And I kind of, because this is like sunburny, I do like to kind of pull this into the center of the face a little bit. And that color kind of woke things up for me. It also has some shimmer. I think also I probably used this brush for highlighting before. But let's place this right on top because it's New Year's. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I love you guys. And now really this is our look, but I'm gonna go and come back in 10 minutes to take the hair down. So we'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. Let's just pull these out and you'll see why it's just nice to have a little heat moment in the front. And yeah, then you just position it. I feel like that looks better, no? I mean, it's subtle. We only did 2 pieces. But when I did my whole head, I flipped my ends out the other day too. You can flip your ends out with it and then roll them halfway. You don't have to go up the whole head and it looks so cute. So yeah, this is our finished look. I'm feeling very 2025. Oh my God, I can't even believe it saying it out loud. Let me know what you guys' resolutions are. Mine are money and love related. That's for sure. And hopefully maybe they'll come together and separately. That would be ideal, you know, like I'll find myself some money and I'll find some money in a man. That would be nice. Sounds inappropriate to say out loud, but like, what else does it matter? Why else would I sacrifice this gorgeous, peaceful life? Because men are inherent takers. Now, I'm done with the glam. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. I hope that you followed along. I love you guys. Happy New Year's, and I'll see you for the next one.